All right. Little rebind for a hermano en Cristo. We're chaplains, both of us, at the county jail. And he said, "Can you do mine?" I said, the language doesn't matter. But this Bible is, he has one just like it, but he's like a lot of us. He said, this Bible, I can just turn right to where I want to go real quick. And it's not in the worst of shape. If you don't know, like this quality of Bible is it's about mid-range. It's not a high-end Bible by any means. These are cheaper made, bonded leather. So we'll wind up keeping the sheet here. They're in good shape. But when you get inside here, you can see that complete breakage right there. We'll repair that. And I'm pretty sure it's just a little bit there. Sometimes I find more when I tear it apart. But that page is completely off. And then you got that breakage right there. And we'll repair that. And if that page is all there, I'll be able to put it in there. And usually when I get them taken apart, I'll find a seam or two more that's in need of repair. He said, "What do? This whole cover come off. Slice that right down the middle and go to peeling and cut it in a way that leaves this paper still intact. And well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a little break. Well, you take a little break. I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back to videoing this." All right, we're back at it. Now, some of them come apart easier than others. This one did not come apart easy, but we'll show you what takes place. That cover's gone. The binding came in a couple of pieces. And what you wind up with are the parts that are, complete separation. And those were the only ones, but you'll get the back parts back here. So here in a minute or two, there's not a lot of glue on this thing, but I'll get rid of all this glue and paper, and you'll be down to you can see the thread right in there, and it'll still be bound. But then we'll go at it with a fresh coat of glue and some bookbinder's cloth, headbands, if you don't know, the headband and tailband. And then she sets up for a day. But once I get that far, I can take my measurements, and that's when I go to work on the leather. Yeah, that stayed in one piece. But we'll get her all back together. Si mi hermano está viendo, no desanime. Ya vamos a arreglarlo. Well, if you speak Spanish, you now know how poor my Spanish is. Vamos a ver qué pasa. All right, well, it is the next day. I'll give a little update. And it's not necessarily that it takes that long, but I just did some work on it and let the glue set overnight. Basically stripped the other glue off, re-glued it. Before I did that, if you remember the complete separations, they're gone now. It's been glued back in place. The stitching, of course, is still there, but those places where it was separated, now they're in one solid piece. That's not quite where we want it yet. Next thing I'll do is put my bookbinding cloth on there, overlap the edges just a little bit, give her a good dose of glue, and take my measurements, and then I work on the leather while all that is drying pretty much for another day. All right, so we got her all glued together. I don't really... It can ooze, so I got to watch how I do this. Headbands and tailbands, I usually put 3 ribbons. Come over the edge there on each side, and I let her sit. Before I glued all that, I took my measurements. You may say, sometimes you get things that aren't, they just don't make sense. I'll give you one. I measured this and this, the thicknesses This is 1/8 of an inch bigger than up here. That's one of the differences between doing new Bibles and old Bibles. You got to adjust. All right. Jumped ahead to the finished goods. Bilingual Bible, English and Spanish. Number 49. Never did pull the ribbons out there. One more in there. Santa Biblia, Holy Bible. Done deal.